how do you want to play UConn? Do you want to play UConn to win it all? Do you want to play them to reach the Final Four? That's minus money, minus 120. And I guess those are the only two bets you can make with any kind of perceived value without laying a ton of juice. So, Jenks, are you as high on UConn as everybody else? Would you take them to win it all, or would you take them to make it to the Final Four?
Oh, well, I think I just don't want to lay the sort of juice that you have to lay for them to make the Final Four. I mean, my God. Well, I take that back. I was looking at Sweet 16. I was like, minus 650. No, thanks. You know what? I think Final Four might be the better bet here at minus 120. That is very palatable. And yes, I understand 4-1 to win it all is enticing, but ultimately, I think what it comes down to for me is that we've seen this so many times in the past, Chelsea, where you have a team that is the best team. They're going back, they're trying to repeat, and you have to have so many things just sort of fall your way in order to grab a repeat title. I believe the last team to do it was Florida in 05, 06, and we've seen some dominant squads since then who just haven't been able to do it because all it takes is one injury, one call, or another team that rises above in a semifinal or the championship game, and they can win it. So I actually like the Final Four odds. Okay, it was 2006, 2007 for Florida. I wanted to make sure I get that right. But I like your suggestion. I absolutely think UConn will get to the Final Four at minus 120. That's just a touch of juice, no big deal. But to win it all, man, when you get to those four teams where you have any team that generally can win it, I get a little bit nervous. Am I on the wrong side here? Do you agree, disagree?
I don't think that I want to lay minus 120 even for a Final Four bet, because I do think that there's a possible upset lurking for UConn before they reach that level. I think Auburn's going to be a tough matchup. If Auburn obviously advances, this is a team that's coming in red hot and certainly has extreme high-end potential and really good post play, because UConn's pretty big down low. Donovan Clingan, of course, a force in the post, but so is Janai Broome. Looks like the MVP of the SEC tournament for Auburn, the SEC tournament champs. So maybe that's the sabotage factor. So for that reason, I think I would try to look at UConn at bigger plus money. I think that's why you take UConn to win it all. So at least if they make it to the national championship, you can have like somewhat of a hedging opportunity, or you can do this with UConn. You can simply just place a bet on them on the spread every single game and just kind of leave them out of the futures market entirely.
Let's talk about Iowa State for a second, because they are a 2 seed. So certainly they have, even though you're right, that region is just absolutely brutal and so very talented. But how talented are they? What is their ceiling here as far as getting through?
Oh, man. If you are friends with an Iowa State fan, just pray for them, because we are the lovable losers of the NCAA, right? I think a lot of people, we can hate on blue bloods. Like, it's so easy to hate on Duke and UNC. And even though Kentucky, to me, has probably the most talent offensively on this team, I actually am not sure I trust Calipari. It feels like he is tinkering with lineups. And all of that to say, I'm going a different route. But Iowa State, people can cheer for Iowa State because they are the lovable losers. We don't get nice things, which is why we're in the East, the region of death, because we don't get nice things. So easy to root for, a good fan base. They're all a little dorky, which it was the intrigue for me, why I went to Iowa State. Everyone's so kind and nice, and there are no professional sports. It's Iowa and Iowa State. However, what they have on defense, and TJ Otzelberger is a great defensive-minded coach, they are going to outman you no matter what in terms of effort any given day. Any given game, they're going to show up no matter what when it comes to effort. However, there are times when the Iowa State Cyclones cannot score the basketball. So it's a hard watch sometimes. Sometimes I'd rather just them play offensively and be flying around because it's better on the eyes. You know, it's more fun to be a fan of a team like that. But they can go on stretches, guys, oh my gosh, for 7 minutes and not score the basketball. So it's not the most fun watch, that's for sure. It's going to be stressful. It's hard for me to forget what happened last year when they played Pitt and they put up like 19 points in the first half, and it was just tragic. And then I had to go on a live show while they were getting their butts whooped in the second half too. And every single guest that came onto the show was just digging at me. It was brutal. So it's not going to be a fun watch. It's going to be stressful. If they can score the basketball, however, and their offense has improved a little bit. Taman Lipsey is a great guard. Keyshawn Gilbert is great too. Momcilovic, a freshman. Sometimes freshmen don't know what they don't know, which can be a positive. I think they can make a run. I think they need their fan base to show up, though. The Big 12 tournament they call Hilton South, right? If you watch the Big 12 tournament, it was Iowa State fans everywhere. So we need the fan base to show up. We need the fan base to travel for sure.
Of these two games, which do you like better? And what is your favorite play?
I'm going with Howard. I'm going to lay 3 at -120 because the hook always scares me. I just think, and here's the thing. Here's your sabotage factor. I'll throw it out there. Wagner has been covered. They've been winning outright as a dog. I think to win their tournament, they won, 3 straight? Didn't you say that? I absolutely think that's correct. So they've been playing really great basketball. But at some point, I think we have to see a little bit of regression here. Howard is also playing great basketball right now. They've won 3 straight, 7 of their last 9 overall. Wagner is also shorthanded. I think they have like 7 players now in their rotation. That's it. I think they could get worn out. And also Wagner is one of the worst shooting teams in all of college basketball. So I think Howard finally sort of brings that nice little run by Wagner to an end. I'm going to lay the 3 with the Bison.
Yeah, bottom line, I don't think that Wagner's offense can keep pace with Howard. It's not that Howard's offense is like incredible. We're talking about 2 first 4 teams here, but Wagner's offense is really bad. If you look at KenPom, they rank 331st, 4th, when it comes to overall offense. Meanwhile, Howard has some good things going for it. It's in the top 200 in the offensive ranks. And also, they're getting plenty of second chance looks. This is actually a team that's top 40 in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage. So not only are they the better offense, they also are the better team down low. Also, they have some good transfers. They have a big man from transfer from Maryland. They have more size when it comes to down low. So it just feels like Howard has the more talented squad and the bigger squad and the better offense. So I'll lay it with Howard, a team that has contended even against some pretty solid teams. So far this year, they took some solid teams to overtime, including Yale. That's a tournament team. Took Cincinnati to overtime. So I think I will roll with Howard as well.